fellow Star Wars nerds, and welcome to Unlimited Content, the podcast where two brothers talk about all of Star Wars film and TV in chronological order on the internet as an excuse to hang out more. We are your hosts, Sam and Jack, and this week we're talking about Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 5, Rookies. Jack Ford.
Rookies!
Hello.
Time Ford.
How are you?
Hello. I'm good. Doing good. I'm tired, though.
Yeah.
It's just because, today's the first day of my weekend, and so, it's my recover day, but also because I spent over 5 hours today watching Mission Impossible movies. I think that kind of took it out of me.
Did you watch, because I saw you posted on Facebook or something that you went to go see the new one that just came out?
Yes.
Did you watch the one that came out right before that, before going to see that one? Nice.
Yeah. So I've got it on 4K at home, so I watched that, then took a quick shower, then rushed over to the theater and watched the new one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be talking about that later.
Sweet.
How are you doing?
I'm well. I am busy. Just a lot of stuff at work, and then in personal life and stuff that I haven't had time. No free time. All my free time has been getting ready for this podcast.
He's a busy boy.
I am a busy boy. But it is good. It is a good time, especially because I get to see my brother. You don't get to see him, but you get to hear him. He has a lovely voice.
That's true. Thank you. You have a lovely voice.
Aww.
I like hearing it because it's yours.
Heck yeah. Likewise.
But speaking of seeing each other, next week is going to be a very special episode because for the first time since we started this podcast, we're going to be in the same place physically.
Very excited.
Yes, so Sam and I are going to be visiting our family back in Dallas, and all of our immediate family is going to be together for the first time in like a year and a half or something. And
yeah, about a year. Well, I know, year and a half, because it was, I think last time we were all together was Marion's first Thanksgiving, which was 2021.
So it's been a bit.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. We're gonna record it live in person together and in front of a live studio audience of our family members.
That live studio audience being our parents, siblings, and my wife.
Yes, and Marion. I don't know. Will Marion be sleeping?
She'll be asleep. She'll be asleep.
Dang.
Yeah.
I wanted her to be a guest on the podcast.
I mean, we could record a segment beforehand and just interview her about Star Wars and just see if she says anything, because
listen, I'd be down.
She's 2.5 and shy, but. I mean, once you get her talking, she'll be talking, so maybe we should just butter her up and then get her going. I don't know, it could be fun.
Sure. She knows about Master Yoda.
She does. Master
Yoda.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. All right. Well, before we go any further, we have a sponsor today. Today's episode of Unlimited Content is brought to you by Corgis.
Sick. No explanation, just Corgis. Yes!
Corgis, the best dog. There you go.
I love it. Sarah and I were at the store, TJ Maxx. That's the store we were at a couple days ago, and you should go. But we were looking at the Halloween stuff's already out. So Sarah her favorite holiday is Halloween.
Welcome to America. We're in July. We have the Halloween stuff already,
and now Marion's favorite holiday is Halloween. Because of Sarah, she's just it's already. She's 2, and her favorite holiday is already Halloween, which is your birthday. Happy birthday, Jack.
Thank you.
We were looking at Halloween decorations and things, but there was a blanket that just was cartoon corgi butts.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah. Corgis. So corgis have the best dog butts.
Yeah. So that blanket specifically sponsored this episode of Unlimited Content.
Excellent.
Yep. We didn't wind up getting a blanket. We got a Snoopy Halloween blanket, which is now Marion's favorite blanket of all time.
Of all 2.5 years of her life,
she will throw a fit if that blanket is not where she can reach it.
Oh.
As long as she remembers that it exists. Object permanence is iffy right now.
She's developing it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Corgis.
Thank you, Corgis, for sponsoring this episode and being cuddly and adorable and little loaves with legs.
Yep. The happiest little boys.
What has been up to in the world of Star Wars? Anything? No, not really.
Not really. And the writers and actors are all on strike now.
Yes, the SAG-AFTRA strike.
Yeah, and so no one is promoting anything, which is good. Good for them. They shouldn't promote anything. Don't cross the picket line. Give these people what they're paid for, what they're what they're, what's the word I'm looking for? Pay them what to do. Pay them what they're worth. That's the one. Yeah.
That one.
Yep. So do that. There was Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Disney, has been saying some interesting things, to say the least, about the strike. Basically, wanting to starve these people out of house and home, and it's a really inconvenient time, and it's really disruptive that these people are.
Yeah, He's disappointed in all these people just trying to, be able to afford rent and food.
Yeah, I saw someone posted that clip or that soundbite or whatever. I think it was a soundbite, and then pulled up a tweet that was, the average writer in Hollywood makes $69,000 a year. Bob Iger makes $75,000 a day.
Yeah. So you could end this, Bob Iger. You could help.
Yeah.
You could just do that.
Yeah. So this has been Strike Updates with Sam and Jack.
Yes. Yes, your premier destination for in-depth strike updates.
Yeah. Maybe pay people more. The end.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all that's been going on. Still excited for Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah.
And in the meantime, Hollywood, get your butts together and pay your people what they're due so they can survive. Because you wouldn't exist, you wouldn't have the money if all the money is that you have if they didn't do the things for you. That's how things work.
Yeah, that is correct.
Anyway, see, insightful commentary again from Unlimited Content. Okay. Well, other than that, what have you been up to watching, reading, playing? Have you had time to do anything in the past week, Sam?
No.
Busy?
I've been very busy. I haven't had time to do anything. Gotcha. Also, I broke my Switch Joy-Con. I'm not happy about it.
Right, you told me about that.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention it last week on the podcast because it happened 12 hours after my car was totaled. Or after I found out my car was totaled. So it's just like it was a terrible, no good, horrible, really bad day for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was talking with Jason about this. I was lamenting because he just listened to the most recent episode that dropped, which was the Tales of the Jedi one. And we had talked about Zelda a lot on that episode, and he was texting me about Zelda, and he was saying that apparently you can send your Joy-Con off to Nintendo, and they'll, even if it's not just Joy-Con drift, if it breaks, they'll fix it.
Oh.
So I'm gonna look into that. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely.
Yeah, because I don't want to buy a new one or spend money for parts and then maybe be able to fix it. Like I've replaced iPhone screens before, so I figure it's about as complicated as that.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing about Nintendo products, though, is that they use tri-wing screws on all of their...
Yeah.
So you need like a special screwdriver to open things.
All the kits I've looked at come with the screwdriver that you need to open it.
That's good.
So
yeah. I've got a kit for my Fix-It that has one.
Yeah, because iPhones are similar. I think they have 5-pointed screws.
Yeah.
And so all the kits I get have... Let's see. Does my iPhone have... No, that's hex.
Even
it's
have
a hex.
Exposed. Oh, it's a hex.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got 2 exposed screws on either side of the lightning port.
Oh, that's it. Gotcha. There you go.
So, there you go. Yep. So, I don't want to have to fix my thing. So, I'm hoping I can just send it off Nintendo and they fix and or replace it.
Yeah. Well, if that doesn't work out, I do have a spare, like, a wired left Joy-Con, if that's the one that you need.
Can I use that with, like, the little, like, that...
And only, you won't be able to use it wirelessly. It's only for handheld mode.
But
fortunately.
Well, I appreciate it, but I'm probably going to pass on that one just because
all right.
I don't like handheld mode unless I have to use it. Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Bro. Yeah. Well,
what have you been up to? Watching, reading, playing, etc. Have you watched any movies lately, Jack?
Recently?
Let me
think.
Like in the last like 8 hours, have you watched any movies?
Actually, I've spent like 5 of the last 8 hours watching movies, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so as we talked about before, I am a big fan of the Mission Impossible series, especially like the most, like everything since... So I haven't seen the second one. The second one is the only one that I haven't seen because I've heard it's not very good. But the first one's a great movie. Definitely has shown its age, but it's still great. Second one I haven't seen. Third one is good. It was J.J. Abrams' first movie, and then everything forward from Mission Impossible 3, it just gets better every time.
Nice.
In my opinion, they're just excellent, really high quality action movies. They've really gotten into a groove and a tone with it, and it's just exciting, popcorn, lighthearted fun with some of the best action sequences and chase sequences, and Tom Cruise doing a big run of any. Yeah. Tom Cruise doing his big runs. That's a requirement of any Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
he runs a bunch.
I saw this meme on, I think it was Threads, because we're on Threads now. That it was about Mission Impossible. It was like, that meme where it's like a guy sitting back in a chair and then he leans forward to the controller, like to like focus in on the thing. It was like anytime Tom Cruise runs and he like leans forward and like to focus, because it's it's gonna be good.
Yeah, excellent. Anyway, yeah. So Mission Impossible, the most recent one before the one that just came out was Mission Impossible Fallout, which is the one with Henry Cavill in it, and it's
the one where he reloads his arms.
Yes, the one where he reloads his arms. The coolest, weirdest shot in all of film history. the best moment in all of movies. Henry Cavill reloads his arms, and it
I'm
works
ashamed
somehow.
to say I have never seen that Mission Impossible. I think I've seen all the ones before that, but I haven't seen that one.
I think it's the best one, personally.
Cool.
Yeah, it's super, super good. It's also the first one that like started like sort of more serializing the story of the series, because before the fifth one, it was like every Mission Impossible movie kind of was a new thing with a slightly different team and a premise that was completely disconnected from the previous one. Like, it's all this, it's still Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise,
right,
doing Impossible Mission Force stuff, which, by the way, I love that's the name of the organization they work for, is the Impossible Mission Force. Did you know that?
I feel like they could have thought a little more about the name, or it's so perfect that
it's silly and it makes me happy.
Yeah,
and Mission Impossible is one of those series that, like, for the most part, it's just like a really like cool, like grounded sort of action series, but there are a select few elements that are like silly and over the top, but that's kind of what gives it its character. There's the fact that it's called the Impossible Mission Force is what they're for. It's the your mission, should you choose to accept it, this message will self-destruct thing that happens in every movie. And there's the masks. There's always masks. There's silly, crazy realistic masks that they use all the time, and it doesn't, like, it's not something that would ever work in reality, but it's become such a staple of the series that they just keep using it. Yeah. And it's like one of those things you can suspend your disbelief, because it's like, oh, that's like the one thing that Mission Impossible does that is like silly and weird, but it's like, it's their thing, so it's
right.
Just it's fine.
Is that the thing where they always have like a super realistic looking mask, but it's really just like a different actor, and then they turn the camera to like make it look like it's looking through a mirror, but it's just it's just another actor, or like it's just Tom Cruise right there.
They do the thing where like the actor will like grab from like under their neck and pull off, and then it'll cut away and then cut back, and it'll be like the other actor, But like, yeah. But yeah, so Fallout was very, very good, and so I've been very much looking forward to the next one coming out. Let's see, Mission Impossible Fallout was the most recent one that came out in 2018. So we've been waiting since 2018 for the most recent for this one. Wow. So I've been very much anticipating it, and I got to see it today because, A, it's my day off, and B, because as we talked about on one of the previous episodes of the podcast, because of Oppenheimer, this movie is only going to be in IMAX for a week. So I wanted to see it this week before it leaves IMAX. Yeah, I know. Tom Cruise is not happy, apparently, which is understandable.
Yeah, allegedly.
Because they shot a lot of this movie, if not all of it, in IMAX. And, it's great. This movie was great. I loved it. It's super long. It's
really?
So Mission Impossible Fallout was 2.5 hours. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is the one that just came out, is 2 hours and 45 minutes long.
Wow.
So, but yeah, it's just, it wasn't like, it didn't stand out to me more than like like it feels like, you know, more Mission Impossible, more of the same high quality Mission Impossible stuff. It's not like it stood out as being like, oh, this is like the next level. They raised the bar. It's just like, oh, they're doing more cool stuff that's just as cool. You know, so it didn't feel like it was like, oh, this is amazing. I like loved it. Like it was, you know, but it was still, I did love it. It was great. It was really good. I definitely recommend it. There's some amazing car chase sequences in this where like they started out in one car, and at one point Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell, who's one of the leads in this movie, they're like handcuffed to each other while they're like taking turns driving.
Isn't Haley Atwell
she's Peggy Carter?
Yeah.
Yes, she's Peggy Carter in Captain America and Avengers and whatnot. Yeah.
Cool.
So
I like her. She's fun.
She's really good. I think this is the first this is the first thing I've seen her in since like Avengers Endgame. Which, I mean, I'm sure she doesn't need to be in anything else, probably because she was in Avengers Endgame. But like, you know, but yeah, no, she's great. She's great in this, and yeah, there's a sequence where Tom Cruise and her are handcuffed together while they're driving, like in a car chase, and they keep like switching positions, and it's super fun. And then they go into a different car, and it's like a tiny little like yellow Beetle. It's like, and meanwhile they're getting chased by this giant like Hummer looking thing. Like, you know, you like, remember in Sonic Adventure 2?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. The gun trucks.
Yes, it is very much. It feels a lot like that, where it's like, you know, they're like a little hedgehog running away from this giant machine that's just smashed. Like they're having to like dodge and weave between cars, and meanwhile this other truck is just like plowing through every other car that like on the street.
Was City Escape playing?
I wish.
Come on.
I wish. No, but the music is great as always.
Good.
I love me some Lalo Schifrin, I think is how you say his name. He did the theme. I don't know who did the music. Yeah, no, that's it's fake. Who did the music for? Hold on, let me. I've got the Letterboxd page open. Lorne Balfe, who's done a lot of good films as well. Anyway, yeah. So amazing movie. It is part 1, so it ends on sort of a cliffhanger, but you know that going in, so it's like it's fine. And it also like it feels like a climax. Definitely. It's not like it doesn't feel like the first half of the movie. Like there are plot elements that are left hanging, but it's like you know what the next thing is going to be, and they accomplish something big by the end of the first part, and there's a big action climax, and super good. It's also, I think, the funniest Mission Impossible movie. Like,
really,
you know, the Mission Impossible movies aren't known for being super like humor heavy, but you know, there's always been somewhat of a lightheartedness to it because you know it's like, you know, spy-fi action, so that, you know, there's an element of ridiculousness to it. Always,
I'm sure there's quips and witticisms. Yeah,
there's some quips, but there's also like some really good like just sort of situational humor moments, and like just like anyway, there were multiple moments where I like laughed out loud in this movie, which, you know, it was you know, occasional moments, but it was because they're there. It's always like, you know, just going with the action constantly.
Right.
But amazing movie, excellent, and I can't wait for the next part, which comes out next year, I believe.
Love that.
So I'm tired because watching. You
watched a lot of movie today.
I watched like 5 hours and 15 minutes ish of Mission Impossible, which is like, you know, those movies are, like I said, they move at a clip, and they're kind of
your
nonstop.
Adrenaline's going for both of those movies.
And so by the time like I was halfway through watching Dead Reckoning Part 1, I was like, I'm tired. I was like taking off my glasses and rubbing my eyes because I was like, okay, I'm gonna, like, I was excited and I was still enjoying the movie, but I was like, man, I gotta lie down when I get home. so I took like not even a nap, but I just lay down for a bit when I got home before watching the episode for tonight's recording. But so that's what I was up to. I don't really have a lot of other stuff to talk about in terms of like content I've been consuming. I've been playing more, wouldn't you know it, Power Wash Simulator.
Yes,
still good. Still great. Still my go-to zone out game, which is excellent.
Nice. Well, if there's no other updates for Power Wash Simulator, Should we just jump in?
Yeah, I think so. Let's do it. Let's jump into today's episode.
All right. Today's episode is the Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 5, Rookies. This is a fun episode. We get a lot of familiar faces in this episode, Jack.
Yes. This episode, we come back to the unit of clones from Clone Cadets from earlier in the season. We're earlier in. I don't remember if it might be like a weird thing where it's like a season 2 episode actually or something.
I think it was.
I don't remember. But yeah. Anyway, Clone Cadets. It's the one with Fives and Cut Up and Echo and Heavy.
Clone Cadets was season 3, episode 1.
Okay. Even though it took place before this season 1 episode.
Right. It was one of those weird bounce arounds.
Yeah. So we meet up with this unit of clones again, and they are out in the field. They've been deployed, and we get to catch up with them a little bit, and also we get lots of Cody and Rex action, which is always great.
Yeah.
So
and General Grievous and a little Asajj Ventress as well.
Indeed, we get a brief moment of Asajj Ventress this episode.
Should we jump in?
Yeah. What is the moral of this episode, Sam?
The moral of this episode is the best confidence builder is experience.
Indeed. This is also the episode that introduces the concept of calling young clones shinies.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're shiny because their armor is shiny and new, and they're inexperienced. So yeah. That's what it is. Okay, let's go.
All right. All right, episode 5, Rookies. Clone forces rally. As the war escalates in the Outer Rim, the Jedi Knights are spread thinly across the galaxy. Many new clones are rushed into service to support their Jedi generals. Unfortunately, because of the relentless demands of battle, many young clones must join the struggle before their intensive training has been completed. These clones, manning a vital network of tracking stations, are all that stand between the Republic and invasion. Invasion! An impenetrable defense.
All right, let's go.
All right. On the remote Rishi Moon. Is that where Rishi Maze, which is...
What?
There's in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Dex talks about Kamino being near Rishi Maze. I think.
There's a Rishi system, it looks like. But it looks like the first mention of it was in Rookies in this episode, so it doesn't look like they don't talk about the system in that. I don't know.
Yeah,
good question.
Yeah, I am pulling it up. And, no, I think you're right. Interesting. I thought that's what I get for thinking. That's on me. All right.
Yeah, how dare you think?
I know. Anyway, on the remote...
Today's lesson is don't think.
Yeah, don't think. On the remote Rishi Moon, a small unit of rookie clones stationed there, including Heavy, Echo, Fives, Droid Bait, and Cut Up, are restless and deprived of battle. Echo reads reg manuals, while Heavy daydreams of being on the front lines when Sergeant O'Niner reminds them that their listening post is vital in keeping an eye on separatist activities and making sure they do not try to slip past and launch a surprise attack on Kamino, the center of clone production and training. The sergeant orders his men to prepare for an inspection by Captain Rex and Commander Cody, who are en route. Soon after, the station detects an incoming meteor shower and prompts it to raise its shields. But the meteors aren't all meteors. 2 of them are boarding ships carrying several droid commandos. Dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. Let me keep going.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool. All right. With brutal efficiency, the droids infiltrate the base and waste no time in executing Sergeant O'Niner along with 3 rookie clone troopers, forcing the remaining 4 clones to flee the base through the exhaust vent. The commando droids report their success to General Grievous. Pleased, Grievous contacts Asajj Ventress on Kamino, where she is making secret preparations for a separatist invasion.
Yeah, so our clone count has gone down by 3. Or rather, it's gone down by 4, because there was Sergeant O'Niner dies, and then there are 3 clones, one of which is Droid Bait, which, of course, Droid Bait is the first.
Droid Bait was the first to go?
The named clones to die.
Oh, man.
Poor Droid bait.
Wow. Really does kind of continue the theme of clones. They're living up to their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Jedi Master, I'm a gun die.
I'm a gun die. Yeah. I wonder if there's any significance with 09er.
I don't know.
All right, we're looking it up. Doing it right now.
Yeah, we clicked on him.
Clicking on it.
Looks like this is the only episode he was in, so, which, I mean, understandable.
Yep.
Because he's dead now. So, as far as I can tell, there's no information about that issue. That's just his name.
Yep. All right.
At the top of 09er's page on Wikipedia, it says, "Get a message to the fleet. We have to warn 09er's final words." It's like, oh, so sad.
Oops.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right. Heavy Echo 5s and Cut Up emerge from a maintenance tunnel into a deep crater below the outpost and plan their next move. Suddenly, a massive Rishi eel silently emerges from one of the many caves in the crater, snatches Cut Up in its jaws, and disappears back into its hole, taking the other rookies by surprise. Just then, Cody and Rex's shuttle flies in for a landing high above. Heavy, 5s, and Echo are unable to make contact by radio, so they decide to use a warning flare. Up on the platform, the clone officers are met by a peculiar clone who gestures awkwardly and talks like a droid. The clone tries to convince them that the base is in perfect condition, though Rex demands to see the sergeant in command. When the clone responds with "Roger, Roger," both officers become immediately suspicious before Rex spots the flare. Rex immediately shoots the impersonator, much to Cody's surprise. Rex tells Cody to relax as he takes the helmet off, revealing it to be a droid commando. This was so dumb in the best way.
Yes, I love it.
Peak dumb funny Star Wars right here. Just like this guy, like, he looks like a clone because he's wearing all the clone armor, but he's like dancing kind of like a marionette, like just waving his arms kind of weird. And
yeah, he's like, how do I act like a human person?
Yeah,
what is...
yeah. It was it reminded me kind of Han Solo in Episode 4. Like, everything's fine. No need to send anybody up. Everything's fine. Like, it was that.
It is exactly like that.
It was that kind of thing.
Yeah, amazing.
That was
it's especially funny to me because the clone. Sorry, not the clone. The
droid
commando droids. Yeah. The droid commandos are like super skilled like warriors who like they're like ninja droids that they got swords and guns. They can sneak around and just decimate people. But like when it comes to anything other than that, when it comes to like trying to like make good decisions about like they're like, well, I guess they're dead. We don't need to go find their bodies or anything and confirm that. We're just gonna keep, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what would be a good idea to get these visiting clones to leave is to walk out there and tell them to leave. Good job.
Yeah. No need to check. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Also, I love the moment where Rex shoots the droid in the clone armor. And Cody's like, what are you doing? And I like to imagine that Rex is like, relax. Then he takes off the helmet and it's just a clone. And he's like, oh, it was just a weird clone. Oh no. I'm so sorry. You were being so weird. I thought you weren't a clone, but I guess I was just being closed-minded.
Not great.
Rip. Anyway, also Rip Cut Up, who gets eaten by a giant eel. So,
oops.
Another clone down.
Yep.
Too bad.
Too bad, so sad. The remaining commando droids soon ambush the two officers. In the ensuing firefight, they manage to destroy one of them before the captain and another droid toss thermal detonators which destroy their ship. Under cover of the explosion, Rex and Cody escape into the crater, where they meet up with the rookie clones. Unsure if they are droids or not, Rex demands they take off their helmets. They do so, reassuring Rex. The eel returns for a second attack, but Rex kills it before it can strike. The two officers then explain to the rookies that they need to take the base with the shinies. Rex and Cody are determined to retake the base, and Heavy, 5s, and Echo are up for the task.
I gotta say, I love this moment where the eel... So, like, the first time the eel comes out, it immediately snatches Cut Up and eats him and leaves. And the second time it shows up, Rex, in one shot, shoots it in the eye and kills it. Like, it just falls down.
Yeah.
Like, dang, Rex.
Which, like...
incredible.
Yeah, it just kind of shows you, one, how overpowered Rex is, but two, like, cut up. What are you doing?
You too busy joking around, cut up. You're gonna get eaten.
Oops. Alright. Alright. As they lack the weaponry to break through the blast doors, Rex comes up with an idea. Posing as a droid commando in disguise, he approaches the gate where 3 commando droids are standing guard. Unit 07 answers and notices that Unit 26's vocabulator is off, demanding to see his faceplate. Rex dives down and picks up Unit 26's droid head. Cody comments on how absurd the plan is, but Unit 07 takes the ruse and opens the gate. The 3 commando droids are surprised by Rex's appearance and are gunned down by the group. They later storm the command center and retake it from the commando droids. They played the same play.
Incredible. The exact
same play.
Yeah, taste of your own medicine. Like, incredible.
Yeah.
They're just like, your voice sounds weird. Show me your head. Okay, let me duck down and then lift up this wobbly head where the eyes aren't lit up. And they're like, oh yeah, that's you. I'm sure. That's great.
Checks out.
I love the droids being stupid. It's so fun.
Yep. Dumb Funny Star Wars is the best Star Wars.
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, the Confederacy Navy, led by Grievous, has arrived. And when he can't make contact with the commandos, Grievous sends down reinforcements. Not wanting the base to fall back into enemy hands, the clones resolve to blow it up with liquid tabana, which would disrupt the all-clear signal, thereby alerting the Republic. As the other clones escape through the tunnels, Heavy tries to arm the explosives, but the remote doesn't work, so he decides to activate it manually. In a heroic last stand, Heavy is wounded. The droids are unsure of what to do with him, asking each other if they take prisoners. Heavy defiantly says that he doesn't and sets off the explosives. The base, along with Heavy, is destroyed. Alerted, the Republic fleet jumps into the system, and Grievous is forced to retreat as he is outgunned. When they return to the Resolute, Echo and Fives are granted medals, and Rex inducts them into the 501st Legion. The rookies feel they don't deserve the honor, but Rex says they've earned it. The end.
Yay! Yeah, so, yeah, the sequence with Heavy, like, deciding to go down with the base and, manually activating the thing, like, it's cool that at least one of these clones that dies gets a cool, honorable death in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
And not just a whoops, I guess you're dead now.
Yeah.
And also, I love that moment of the droids being like, do we take prisoners? And Heavy goes, I don't. Like, what a cool final line.
Super cool.
Like, so awesome.
Also, with the whole Star Wars rhyming thing, Jack, did this scene feel familiar to you? To anything else we've watched recently? Maybe in live action?
In live action? I don't...
From The Mandalorian, when...
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. With, what's his name? Paz Vizsla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Paz.
Yeah, it was like very similar kind of thing where he had the heavy, like, artillery gun, like the rotating kind of like Gatling gun kind of thing, and he was taken out. Honestly, I think they were droids, right? Weren't they super battle? They were like
were they? I thought they were like, no, they were other
Mandalorians. That's right.
Yeah, they were like evil Mandalorians.
I was thinking they were dark troopers, but no, they were Mandalorians. But yeah, he was taking them out, and then his gun overheats, and then he uses his gun as a weapon, and
right, and that's
off.
What Heavy does in this too. Yeah. Heavy throws his gun and takes out another droid.
Yep. So very similar. Star Wars, it rhymes. It all rhymes.
Yeah, man. Now I'm sad about Paz again.
Sorry, too soon.
Poor Paz. Yeah, too soon, Sam.
Yeah,
about this fictional character
whose on-screen death was like almost a year ago.
Yeah, but also one of the coolest on-screen deaths.
Oh yeah,
of any Star Wars moment. Like, man, what a cool, like, it single-handedly takes down like 20 people.
Yeah,
like, incredible.
Yeah, 20 Mandalorian commandos. Like,
yeah. Also, Echo and Fives, the sole survivors of this episode, at least of that unit, are granted medals, and they get to join the 501st with Rex. So
yeah, that's super cool.
I think this is it the first mention of the 501st in the Clone Wars.
I think
feel
so.
Like it is.
Yeah, and the 501st is those are Anakin's troops. Anakin commands the 501st. And then when the Republic becomes the Empire, they become known as Vader's Fist. Right? The 501st still answers directly to Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. So, there it is. But not Fives and Echo. They don't.
Yeah, no, they're doing other stuff.
Yep.
We'll talk about that.
We will.
Yeah.
Spoilers, Jack. Come on. Why would you bring that up?
Sorry. All right. Well, Sam, do you have a favorite part of this episode?
Do I have a favorite part of this episode? I think the dumb, funny Star Wars. I think it was like it was Rex playing their play against them was my favorite part of the episode with the with the droid head puppet kind of thing, and like, oh, checks out,
Roger,
let him in.
Roger.
Yeah, Roger. And what about you, Jack?
I love that stuff too. I loved the moment where we got the little like bantery explanation about what shinies are. That's a cool like that's something that is definitely that adds to the sort of Star Wars canon, because shinies is something that is a phrase that comes up many times later in Clone Wars. You know, it's like a common phrase. But I think I gotta say my favorite moment is still like Heavy's last stand and him being like, I don't take prisoners. Boom.
Yep.
And then either Fives or Echo was like, Heavy did always hate that place. It's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love a good, like, amazing, badass last line.
Yeah.
So I'll go for that. MVP. Do you have an MVP?
Heavy?
I mean, yeah, it's gotta be Heavy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Heavy.
For the reason we just talked about.
For obvious reasons. Yes.
Yes.
We love
Good old Heavy.
Good old Heavy.
Poor Heavy. We saw him for like 3 episodes or something, and then he's gone.
Don't worry, he'll be back in season 3. Oh, wait.
In the episodes we already watched.
Oops.
Oh. Alright, main character kill count, nobody, no.
Just droids.
Nothing happens there. Wilhelm scream count, no, I don't think there were any Wilhelm screams.
Should have been. I'm always going to say that.
Yeah, every major character death needs a Wilhelm scream.
Indeed.
When Palpatine gets thrown down the reactor in the Death Star 2, there should be a Wilhelm scream. Ah!
When Darth Vader gets Obi-Wan in A New Hope, as the cloak drops, Wilhelm scream.
when Shmi dies in the tent, there should be a Wilhelm scream.
Oh no!
She like the breath leaves her lungs, and you hear quietly in the distance.
In Order 66, every single Jedi that dies should have been a Wilhelm scream.
Oh no! There reminds me of there's a video that somebody took every major death from the live action Star Wars movies. It's like a compilation of them, but every time a character dies, they replace it with the version from the Lego games. It's great.
It's too good. Too good.
All right.
Yeah, this is a short one.
Yeah, not a whole lot to talk about this week. I think we're both either tired or busy, but next week there's going to be plenty. Next week's going to be a good, fun one.
Yeah, and you'll get your money's worth next week.
Yeah, your $0 worth. It'll definitely be worth it. It's not always worth it, but maybe next time it will be. All right. I'm super excited about getting to see you in person, man.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really good. What do you want to do for in-person stuff? Like when we have, like, do we want to do any, like, games? Or trivia? Or
yeah, we could do a game or trivia. Or
no one's going to hear, like, this is going to be released by the time we record the next one, so.
No, we're just discussing this. You guys have no say.
Yeah.
Audience.
Sorry. If you call in, it's already been recorded. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. We should come up with something to I mean, it'll be special regardless, but
yes,
to make it as fun for everybody there as possible. Maybe we'll have like a I mean, I was going to say we could have a Q&A, but like they all have access to us at all times. There's no reason.
Yeah, we don't do that.
It's like, yeah. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, like a trivia kind of thing, or like who said this Star Wars quote, or is this quote from Star Wars or something else? Or
yeah, I did have an idea for for a mini game that I will tell you off mic so that it's a surprise to other people. Assuming I use it.
Yeah.
But all right.
Should we log off?
Yeah. By the way, everybody, if you'd like to join the discussion, leave a voicemail at 512-850-6653, and we might feature your comments, questions, or concerns on the podcast. And that number, again, is in the episode description. Next time, we'll be talking about 2 episode arc. Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 6 and 7, Downfall of a Droid, and Duel of the Droids.
A droid arc. Fun.
Droid arc. Droids. Robots. Yep. Love me some robots.
Oh, speaking of... what was it? Of participation from the audience and people calling in. It wasn't a call-in, but it was our cousin Allie messaged me about some things. Where did it go? So I was talking with our cousin Allie, and they were sending. They posted on their story something. It was a comic strip of I think it was two birds or something. I told them to leave a voicemail, but they didn't do that. But it was these 2 birds talking. It was basically the premise of the joke is that Luke and C-3PO are brothers.
I saw this, yeah. Because they have the same dad.
They have the same dad. Yeah. So, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, they're like half siblings.
They're
yeah. Well,
there's no. I guess
C-3PO doesn't have a mom.
C-3PO doesn't have a mom. Well, actually, in some deleted scenes from episode 2,
okay,
Padme finishes making C-3PO.
What?
Yeah, his coverings, like his outer shell, had just been sitting in a box for 10 years, and she's like, "What is this doing here?" And she puts it on, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not naked anymore. This feels great." And it's a really touching scene. I saw it was a I think it was, I don't think I ever saw footage of it, but it was Anthony Daniels at a con somewhere talking about that. Mm-hmm. And so in a way, Luke and C-3PO are brothers, not half brothers, not even half brothers. They were both made by Anakin and Padme.
Yes, by a certain logic that does make sense. I do like that.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view, indeed. Yes. Well, that's delightful. Yeah. Thank you, Allie, for pointing that amazing bit of trivia out to us.
Yeah. Allie, we got to get you on the podcast sometime. I know you listen.
Yes, it'd be amazing. Yeah. Allie is another one of our cousins. But this is gonna be a over the next several years, however long it takes us to get to this podcast, we're just going to end up having every one of our 30-something cousins on the podcast as a guest. But yeah, Allie is a writer, a published author. They published a horror book not too long ago, a novel that you can watch. You can read. You know,
you watch books.
Yeah, in your head. It's like TV in your head. You know.
Yeah.
It's
whoa, that's crazy, man.
Indeed. Okay, well, yes. Allie, if you're listening, we would love to have you on the podcast sometime. Yeah,
you know how to find
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks.
And we will see you next week when we will be a very special live before studio audience episode.
Probably,
content.
Probably going to be a much longer episode than this week. This week is coming in probably around 40 minutes, if I had to guess. But it's a good one. It's good.
Yep.
All right, Jack.
Right.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you as well. Aww. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, cut the chatter.
Roger.